victim of racism. Hillary Clinton, exact same thing. Goes to Wellesley, spends her entire life in the ruling class.
It's that time of year again. The moment when we uncover the truths the mainstream media desperately tried to keep buried. And Tucker Carlson is furious about Obama's secret, which is exposed by his guest.
Senator in Illinois. 4 years later, he once again spoke to the Democratic convention, but this time as the nominee. Meteoric doesn't begin to describe it. How did this happen? Well,
the funny thing is that it all started with a simple question, but the answer, wow, that one no one expected. But I'll tell you what, the answer raised many eyebrows and more questions. It revealed a truth so disturbing that even Tucker, who thought he had seen it all, was left in shock. Let's cut through the noise. This is all about former President of the United States, Barack Obama. Rumors about Obama have come and gone, but this one is here to stay, at least for a while.
We like pictures of like Jimmy Carter's house and Obama's house.
Exactly.
And it totally represents something about the like corroding of our soul.
In a white neighborhood, you should be required to live in the hood if you're Barack Obama.
The Tucker Carlson Show, a weekly conservative political podcast, decided to talk about the alleged discrimination of some politicians. The first name Tucker threw was Hillary Clinton, former First Lady and former Secretary of State under Barack Obama. Well, that lady has her fair share of gossip, definitely. But what Carlson wanted to say about Hillary was more old news, the news that might reveal an old wound. Tucker stated Hillary's little speech when she felt like a racist victim. Imagine that. At the time, many were wondering if was she trying to get some attention with that statement. For those who don't know, she went to Wellesley College, a prestigious private women's college, and spent her entire class time among the ruling class, surrounded by elites, wealthy individuals, or those in positions of power and influence? Was this Hillary's little white lie?
Many of us still live in fear as we go to the grocery store or worry about walking our dogs or allowing our children to get a license. I mean, just imagine.
That was just the tip of the iceberg. Carlson's guest then mentioned something that surprised many. He pointed out that Michelle Obama, the former First Lady, has been vocal about racism and discrimination, so much so that she once claimed raising black kids in their community was both dangerous and challenging due to systemic bias. Oh yes, imagine the unbearable struggle of living on a private island. Too terrified to walk your designer dogs or let your daughters cruise around in their fancy cars. The horror! Hang tight, because we're about to get into that subject very soon. Because let's be real, their words may paint them as victims, but their bank accounts tell a very different story.
I notice a theme here. There are a lot of extremely rich people who are deeply miserable and desperate to have you believe they're victims. What is that?
Yeah,
it seems fortunate to me.
It was a mic drop moment on Tucker Carlson's platform. Candace Owens came in swinging with what's obvious. Elites like the Obamas are somehow victimized while living in the lap of luxury. Tucker was clearly entertained, and to say the least, shocked. He just let her spill that tea. Candace threw some more names like Biden's and Clinton's. Oh, and let's not forget she also dissed LeBron James and Princess Meghan Markle. Wondering why? Well, seems like they all were trying to sell the story to the audience about how they are just like ordinary people. Owens, as sharp as she can be, said how they are far from equal because they all complain from the comfort of their luxurious homes. We checked the numbers for you, but let's crack together their wealth formula here.
LeBron James living in Bel Air, he's a victim. Meghan Markle went downgraded from billionaire to multimillionaire. She's a victim. They want you to know that they're all victims. It's because they're trying to distract us. The truth is that they view us as peasants. They're trying to make it seem like, hey, when the peasants turn against us because they're actually robbing all of them, we don't want them to look at us. We want to make them think that we're one of us.
Tucker also checked the facts. He shared how, for instance, Michelle Obama is stating she is a victim of racism, and yet Obama lives in no other than Martha's Vineyard, a private island and known white neighborhood where you should be required to live. What racism and what victim are we talking about? But where all that money comes from then? Last time we checked, Obama, as a U.S. Senator, had a net worth of $1.3 million, which is completely normal for a senator. But get this. Today, a long time after Obama's presidency, there are some pretty breathtaking changes. Mr. Obama and his Mrs. We, our victims, are sitting on over $70 million. Numbers don't add up. Isn't that odd?
Well,
Yeah.
the only reason you got elected was because of your race. You spent your entire 8 years inflaming race hate in our country, and then you go to Martha's Vineyard, the whitest zip code in the world? Not allowed.
We will tell you all about that money. But first, let's figure out how someone can transform from measured and not extreme to filthy rich. Supposedly, all those millions come from talking on stage and signing books. There is a book deal Obama signed after leaving office that was a massive $65 million. And believe it or not, it shocked us as well. Obama lands about $400,000 every time he gives a speech. And we are not exaggerating when we say he cashes in all that money just by opening his mouth. But here's another catch. How is it possible to have all that money just from being in politics? And we thought only kingpins could earn that kind of money?
Trying to make it seem like, hey, when the peasants turn against us because they're actually robbing all of them, we don't want them to look at us. We want to make them think that we're one of us. They're not one of us. They're nothing like us. They don't live like us. She has nothing that goes on in her life that is similar to the average American, yet she keeps trying to use her skin color and her complexion as a way.
Tucker Carlson also discussed this with Candace Owens. It was hard to stay serious as Tucker was saying that there are some pretty miserable and desperate rich people. For sure wouldn't be miserable if we had this amount of money. That's a fact. Candace said, if you believe Meghan Markle, LeBron James, or Obamas are oppressed, you have been fooled. They are just fine and enjoying life while we, as their taxpayers, are struggling and trying to survive this harsh world. Oh, taxes. They have a shortcut there too. They know exactly how to grow their wealth while legally avoiding taxes. By setting up nonprofit organizations and charitable foundations, they create financial buffers that protect their fortune while keeping up appearances. They've mastered the art of making money while keeping it untouchable. Through nonprofit organizations and charitable foundations, they shield their fortune while presenting themselves as generous benefactors. Not just the Obamas, but the Clintons as well have raked in an astonishing $230 million solely from public speaking engagements and book deals. The deeper we dig, the more frustrating it gets, doesn't it? Let's be honest, there's more to this than meets the eye. It's definitely food for thought. While everyday people are expected to follow the rules and pay their taxes, the very ones enforcing those standards seem to be expertly dodging them, all while piling up millions. And let's not forget the long-standing rumors and whispers of corruption so deep that no one can even see where it truly begins.
I worry about what assumption is being made by somebody who doesn't know everything about them. The fact that they are good students and polite girls, but maybe they're playing their music a little loud. Maybe somebody sees the back of their head.
At the end of the day, this isn't about race or oppression. So there you have it. The same people who preach about fairness and equality are actually the original influencers of fast money-making schemes. Long before social media stars were cashing in, politicians like the Obamas, the Clintons, or the Bidens were mastering the art of turning influence into millions through book deals, speaking gigs, and strategic loopholes.
That she's suffering, and she's absolutely not suffering. And everyone should be aware that if you're watching this and you think that LeBron James and Meghan Markle and Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are oppressed, you are a fool. You have been fooled.
Tucker never expected his guest to drop this truth bomb, exposing the hidden dirt behind the most elite figures. What's your take on this? Is this just business as usual, or is there something far deeper at play? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more hard-hitting content like this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we're just getting started.